Good Wednesday evening, Southeast Texas. Over the next 15 minutes, going to dive deep into the forecast over the next 7 days. First off, we had a beautiful sunset this evening. Look at that, just some high-level cirrus clouds streaming overhead. They pick up the sun's color very well at nighttime, or at least in the evening, and they're made up of cirrus clouds. That's why the cirrus clouds are made up of ice crystal. That's why they pick up the color. Beautiful evening across Southeast Texas. After a pretty nice afternoon across the area, now we're starting to cool off down in the 50s up in the lakes and in the low to mid 60s in the triangle under clear skies as we continue to watch a front pushing through the area, and that's going to bring us fairly nice afternoon tomorrow after a cold start. The allergy report, it's gotten even better than yesterday. Now we don't have any tree pollen, weed pollen, or grass pollen, just low levels of mold. So hopefully you're breathing a lot better. At least we don't have any ragweed to deal with across the area. So some good news there, as that season may be over with. So here's your weather headlines over the next 7 days. We expect, now that the front is pushed through the area and high pressure is building on in with clear skies, light winds going calm, we could be down into the upper 30s, mid upper 30s lakes, low to mid 40s in the triangle. So a cold night, jackets and coats necessary tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, we should see a sunny, cool afternoon. Highs anywhere between about 62 to 63, maybe 64 tomorrow afternoon. So some of you may need jackets. After that, we'll start seeing a nice warming trend, and we'll be likely into the low to mid 70s both Friday and Saturday. Maybe a few sprinkles Saturday into Sunday early as a fairly strong cold front pushes through the area, and that'll open the door to, well, a 1 or 2 day cool down, a quick cold snap, as we may see a freeze or a light freeze coming up, or near freezing temperatures coming up Monday morning, and highs staying in the 50s. Then a disturbance coming in from the southwest will bring us a round of rain and thunderstorm activity late Wednesday into, or late Tuesday into late Tuesday into early morning on Wednesday. You'll see that on the graphics in just a second. So right now, 37, it's possible, certainly in the upper 30s, but a few spots may hit the mid 30s. There's potential for some very patchy frost up in the lakes. Either regardless, it's going to be a cold night. Looks like the low to mid 40s across the triangle tomorrow morning. So we will go with, after a cold start, 63 tomorrow afternoon in the triangle. It could get to the mid 60s. With no rain, obviously, and lots of sun, wall-to-wall sunshine, actually. And then for the lakes area, I'm going to go 62 after a cold start with very light south to southeasterly winds. Again, 38, 39, 37 up in the lakes tomorrow morning, and lower 60s tomorrow afternoon. That looks good with lots of sun across southeast Texas. Then we fast forward into Friday, and boy, that's going to feel nice. Mid 70s across southeast Texas on your Friday, but the clouds will be on the increase on Friday, but we do not expect any rain as the front that's coming through now begins lifting back to the north as a warm front. That'll open the door to warmer, a little more humid weather coming up on Friday. So no rain on Thursday or Friday. Saturday and Sunday looks like maybe some sprinkles. It doesn't look like anything significant, meager rainfall amounts. Monday, high pressure will build over our area, a ridge of high pressure. And then Tuesday into Tuesday night into Wednesday. Right now, not going to go any more than 40% coverage of showers and thunderstorms, but again, that may have to be tweaked upwards as far as our rain chances. But again, we just don't see what we need to see to be able to produce widespread rainfall or heavy rainfall on Friday and Saturday. Even though the warm front's going through our area, I just don't think there's enough moisture to warrant anything significant on Saturday or Friday. Saturday looks like our best chance because moisture levels are coming up. Remember, you've got to have moisture in the atmosphere above the surface. You can't have dry air. That kills the chances of shower activity or thunderstorm activity because the clouds can't build up. So Saturday looks like the best chances as the moisture in the atmosphere goes down behind that front on Sunday. So little of any chance there, nothing Monday. Then Tuesday late into Wednesday morning, depending upon the speed of this, it may have to be adjusted either way because we're, 6-7 days out. But late Tuesday into Tuesday night looks like our best chance of shower and thunderstorm activity over the next 7 days. Otherwise, how much can we expect? Well, this is very early, but a third of an inch, maybe a little less than that, to maybe about 1.5 inches of rainfall seems reasonable at this point And a lot of this is going to be falling coming up on Tuesday night into early Wednesday morning. So no flooding issues and certainly no severe weather, but some more badly needed rainfall. As we continue to lose that surplus of rain, we're now down to 6/10 of an inch of rain above normal since just December, as we also continue in a level 1, level 2 drought across the area. Otherwise, the front pushing out into the Gulf now, and that's helping to turn winds to the north. They'll go calm overnight and tomorrow morning. Mid-50s under clear skies in the lakes, and the upper 50s to mid-60s across the triangle. Again, dry air filtering on in. But look at that, a lot of orange on the map. Temperatures are running anywhere between 10 to 15 degrees warmer than we were 24 hours ago, ahead of that front mainly this afternoon. That won't be the case coming up tomorrow morning. Across the state right now, temperatures cooling off in the Red River Valley into the 50s, 40s though in the Panhandle, and there's the frontal boundary. And as you can see, temperatures in the 60s and 70s down in South Texas as this front continues to push off to the south and east. Cold high pressure building in from Oklahoma, giving us those northerly winds, and that'll settle into our area overnight, allowing us to see good radiational cooling as the winds go calm. So mid to upper 30s again tomorrow morning and into the lower 60s coming up tomorrow afternoon. Then with that front stalled out in the Gulf, we'll be watching this piece of energy right here. That will be coming our way, and that will help pick that front up that is in the Gulf stalled and bring it back to the north as a warm front. So we'll see a warming trend coming up on Friday and Saturday. Again, all the Arctic air, the cold air, staying off to the north and east. Not going to be affecting us. We may get a little glancing blow as we normally do coming up by Monday of next week as that next cold front pushes on in. So a lot of dry air over us right now. Again, there's that disturbance that is over towards the southwest I was talking about. So the front is going to go out into the Gulf and basically stall. So I'll draw a stalled front right there. Okay? There's your stalled front that's coming through right now. It's going to stall out in the Gulf. As this disturbance comes into our neighborhood coming up tomorrow, that will push the front back to the north as a warm front. So Friday, we will get a warm frontal passage, and that means more moisture, and that means more in the way of cloud cover for Friday and warmer temperatures. But as you can see, deep trough off to the north and east, that's where all the Arctic cold air is. But with a northwest flow, it's going to be glancing at best and pushed off to the east. We'll put this into motion. Here comes that disturbance on Thursday and into Friday. We just, I don't think, have enough moisture to warrant any precipitation on Friday. Now, we've got to see some disturbances, and that will be the case as we head towards Saturday into Sunday as this next trough of low pressure moves on in. Maybe just enough moisture Saturday night into Sunday to warrant maybe isolated sprinkles as this front goes through. That moves through, then we get cold, and we see a ridge of high pressure. A mountain ridge of high pressure. And that will allow us to see dry weather returning to the area late Sunday and into Monday and probably the first half of Tuesday. Then we get this. I think this is overdone. The European is always too deep with these what we call short waves. It's not a long wave trough, but a short wave. And what this is I'm showing you the greens. There's moisture that moves on in. Look at all these blobs of red. Those are upper level disturbances. They're called vorticity maxima. The air tends to rotate, and what that does is it causes lift in the atmosphere, plus you've got a trough. So we've got three things that are going to point towards forecasting a chance of shower and thunderstorm activity coming up Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, and that's what we're going to be showing you on the extended forecast. That's why we have that. As this pushes through, we'll get a northwest flow in by Thursday of next week, looking like dry weather. If you're wondering about Christmas, very early, let's see, we're sitting here at the 10th. That is what, 15 days out. There's absolutely very little accuracy beyond 7 days, 7 to 10 days. But right now, it does look like a a fairly mild, if not warm, Christmas at this point. That's all I can say at this point. Otherwise, tonight, as we take a look at Futurecast, the front pushes out into the Gulf and stalls. We will see winds go calm, skies will be clear, and we could see low temperatures. I think are going to be colder than this. We will go with 37, okay, 37, 38, 39 up in the lakes, low to mid 40s. Okay, these numbers I like. And then for tomorrow, after a cold start, make sure your kids are bundled up. It will be a cold morning. We will see lots of sun with the dry air mass. That means that highs will likely get into the low, possibly mid 60s across southeast Texas. But look at that. Look at the winds already turning back to the south and east. That will help drag as that disturbance comes in from West Texas. That's why those winds are turning back to the south and east. That'll help drag that front back to the north as a warm front. So with the low and mid 60s tomorrow, that means we'll be in the 70s coming up on Friday. On the Gulf, looking at slightly choppy seas tomorrow, around 2 feet with a northeast to east wind at 10 to 15 knots. Water temperature 63. Look at the winds already going calm. So it's going to be a cold morning, even at Sabine Pass. 7 a.m. sunrise now, so we've crossed that threshold at this time of the year. So tonight, as you saw, 36, 37, 38, maybe 39 up in the lakes. Could be a little patchy frost up that way. Not the case from about probably about Silsbee, Kuntz, Buna southwards, as it'll be just too warm. I think we'll get to near 40 to the low to mid 40s in the triangle as winds basically go calm. Otherwise, after a cold start, we should see high temperatures rising into the lower, maybe mid 60s. Low humidity. Should be a beautiful afternoon. Be outside and be able to put up those Christmas lights or inflatable Rudolph, or be outside and be able to work on the car. Just take that walk, no problems. So taking a look at your weather impact 7-day forecast. Thursday you know about. So Friday, with the warm front lifting back to the north, we expect partly sunny skies. We'll go with a low of 50, a high of 75. A little more cloud cover, maybe a sprinkle or two Saturday. I'm not expecting much, as I said, but we'll stay in the 70s as those low temperatures continue to rise into the mid 50s. By Saturday night, we'll be watching that strong cold front push into the area. 10, maybe 20% coverage, light stuff. And it looks like we will see clouds, maybe some sprinkles in the morning. By the afternoon or mid-afternoon, we should see the sun return, but a cooler day across southeast Texas. And that will open the door to possibly a light freeze up in the lakes, near freezing temperatures here in the triangle as the clouds return to the area coming up Monday afternoon. So we're going to be stuck in the 50s. It's going to be a cold day on Monday, but at least it's going to be dry. I'll take a dry cold over a wet cold any day. Now, depending upon the speed of the system for Tuesday and Wednesday, right now I'll go with a 20% coverage as skies go cloudy, highs only in the lower 60s. And then Tuesday night into the first half of the day, Wednesday, looks like we will see that round of shower and thunderstorm activity. This far out, I'm not going more than a 40% coverage. But if you look at modeling, which I'm going to show you here, that's going to be 100% coverage. Why do I do that? Because it's easier to increase and not have to backtrack on your forecast some 4, 5, 6 days out. I don't do that. When I get more confidence and I see more models show this same situation, because some models are not showing this. Some models show less rainfall or the heavier rains off to the north. We want to see more consistent returns on different models saying the same thing is going to happen. So that's why I'm going to go only a 40% coverage, but it's likely to be a higher chance as we head